correct unit of weight in the SI unit is the Newton. Here you will work with mass only. So again, like I told you before, mass is measured in kilograms in the SI unit. Okay? Weight is actually force, which is mass times acceleration of gravity, and the units for force is the Newton. So when they say weight, your answer should be in newtons, but we don't do that in this class. That is just for when you get into grade 10 science and physics in grade 11 and 12. A recipe for cornbread calls for 120 grams of flour, 170 grams of cornmeal, and 50 grams of sugar. If you double the recipe, what is the total mass of the dry ingredients? All right, this shouldn't have to be done on the board. 120 times 2. 170 times 2. And 50 times 2. Easy enough. Okay, let's go to 197. In this section, you'll need to work with the relationship between the SI and the imperial units of weight mass. Okay, so here's the first thing. And again, you have this on your sheet. 1 kilogram is equivalent to 2.2 pounds. So we are going to convert back and forth between imperial and SI units. Lorinda is baking apple pies. According to her recipe, she needs 6 pounds of apples. The bag of apples she bought only shows the mass in kilograms. How many kilograms of apples does she need? Okay, so I need 6 pounds to change to kilograms. Again, you're going to see this. Over here. You're next. Out there. We need to set up ratios. This is what we've been doing since the first unit we took. Set up ratios that you know. Kilogram, pounds. 1 kg, 2.2. You cancel. You divide by below the line, so what? 6 divided by 2.2 is what? Get your calculators out and get working. 2.72 repeat? Yeah. Okay, perfect. kg. Okay, I like that. Page 199. Going quick here. The cost of bananas is 49 cents a pound. On sale at another store, they are $1.05 per kilogram. Which is the better buy? Okay, so you have a choice to make. You want to change them to pounds or do you want to change them to kilograms? Doesn't matter. Say? Change it to pounds? Okay. So here's what I have. This is how I'm going to set this one up like this. And I like that you chose this one. 105 per 1 kg. And we need to set it up so that it's pounds. So I got to get rid of the kilogram. Now this is a rare case. The kilograms on the bottom, I need to change it to pounds on the bottom. Therefore, I have to put the kilograms on top. I have to be able to divide it out so that they cancel. The only way I can do that is top and bottom. All right? 1 kg, 2.2. So how do I find out how much it is? $1.05 divided by 2.2, which is what? 0.477 cents per pound. Which is the better deal? Second one. Okay. How many of us finished 4.2? Few of you. Some of you got work to do then. All right, let's look at 4.4. And then you'll have the rest of today to work on both of those. Working with conversions between measures of volume, weight, and mass. Okay. You've converted measures of one unit to another within the SI or imperial system between them. Here you'll convert from a unit of volume to a unit of weight or mass. For example, grain is often measured in bushels, a volume measure, but its weight may be needed to judge whether it is safe to load for a truck. Each grain has a different weight, so conversions between bushels and weight depend on knowing the conversion factor. It says see page 162. Well, we've already got that. You've got it in front of you. Okay, here's the first thing that we need to know. Now, this is different. I don't know. Look on your actual sheet, and on your sheet, does it have bushels on it? I believe it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1 bushel is equivalent to 8 gallons. 1 bushel is equivalent to 32 quarts. However, we do not have bushels for volume on here. So we're going to use the one that's in the book. So 1 bushel, so write this down somewhere, is equivalent to 2,220 inches cubed. So write that down at the top of your sheet or on your sheet for right now. I'll add that in after. So it does say approximately 8 gallons, which you do have on your sheet. Okay? How many bushels of flaxseed are there in 2.4 tons if the conversion factor is 39.368 bushels per ton? So we have 2.4 tons. Okay. Now, we're not asked this, but how many pounds is that? What'd you get?
How much tons?
No, how many pounds is that?
In tons?
4,800.
Yeah, that's nothing.
It would be 5,200.
What are you thinking?
2,200 per British ton.
Yes.
Oh, whoops.
He's right. Okay, look at the spelling of the word. NNES implies that it is not American. American is TONS. Okay, so when you see that, that's what you have to associate with it. So it is a UK measurement. So if you were asked, it is 2,200 because 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. There's 1,000 kilograms in a ton. Times that by 2.2, that's 2,200 pounds in a British ton. So you would end up multiplying that by 2.2, not 2,000. Okay, and that's all based on that spelling. So be aware of that. Okay, this is the spelling for the British pounds or tons. Okay, so but it says 39.368. 39.368 bushels per 1 ton. Multiply those two, and what do you get?
Uh, 94.48.
3 decimal places.
483.
Thank you. So that's how many bushels it is. Okay? And again, this is a very relevant. Most of you guys are, a good majority of you in here deal with farms. So we are going to do a little more work on converting bushels to kilograms, tons, whatever. Okay?
That's it? I don't see no other-
That's all you got, man. Okay? Finish 4.2 and get as close to the end as 4.4 as possible. Any questions from 4.2 yesterday that you wanted to look at? Go ahead.
Can you do number 9 on
Absolutely. Okay, we'll start with question 9 on page 190. About 200 cocoa beans are used to make 1 pound of chocolate. I'm just going to write that out. 200 beans equivalent to 1 pound of chocolate. I may need that. Beans are shipped in 200-pound sacks, which contain about 88,000 beans. How many 1.5-ounce chocolate bars can be made from 1 sack of beans? Okay, so I feel like when I look at this or read this question, I have more information than I need. Okay? Realistically, if I have a 200-pound sack,
We should change pounds to ounces.
right, so change the 200-pound sack to ounces? I agree. So let's start with that. So 200 pounds times. Is there a conversion between pounds and ounces?
16 to 1.
16 ounces in a pound, is that correct?
Mhm.
Yeah? Okay, so multiply those two together and that gives me the number of ounces. How many ounces is that? 3,200 ounces. And then I'm going to divide that by 1.5 ounces. Pardon me? Okay, I figured as much. Give it to me anyway still, please.
2,000.
2,000 what?
130.
0.3.
0.3 repeat. And that's how many beans, right? Or so that's how many chocolate bars. Okay? What's the problem with this? What's that?
You gotta, it's from 1 pound. You have to change. Well, it's because it says 1 bag. How many
There's
chocolate
one
bars are
sack.
1 bag? So if
Okay.
you want to change 16 ounces, you probably divide 16 to 1.
Let's do something else.
You just change the 1 pound to ounces and divide by 1.5.
Okay, say it again.
Because it says how many 1.5 ounce chocolate bars can be made from 1 sack of beans. So 1 sack's 1 pound. Never mind.
You're doing a good job of rationalizing this.
One pound.
We're missing a piece of information here. What is that piece of information we're not working with yet?
1 sack stored pounds.
No. What is it?
88,000.
88,000 beans. So 88,000 beans, we have to find out how much cocoa that produces. Okay? That first part right there, the 200 cocoa beans are used to make 1 pound of chocolate. We need to find out the amount of chocolate that 88,000 beans make.
Oh, so you
So,
convert it all to.
okay, so go ahead. Tell me what to do. 88,000 beans.
What should I put 200?
Okay, so
So you want to get
200 beans, right,
yeah, stored pounds.
is 1 pound of chocolate, right? Okay, so let's do that. What's 88,000 divided by 200? 440 pounds of chocolate. Let's convert that 440 pounds of chocolate to ounces now.
7,000.
What is it?
7,040.
7,040 ounces. Now what do I do?
Divided by 1.5 ounces.
Divide by 1.5 ounces equals. What do you get there, Sarah?
4,693 and 50.
4,000.
693.
Is that the right answer? Okay. So that beans are shipped in the 200-pound sacks. That was irrelevant information to you. All right. The only thing that we needed to know out of that 200 pounds of sacks is how many beans were in that 200-pound sack. Because remember, that 200 pounds was not 200 pounds of chocolate. When we did it up here, we thought that meant 200 pounds of chocolate. That's not what it was. The cocoa beans make the chocolate. So all of this right here was no use to us because all it did was give us that. So we needed to use the beans instead of the size of the bag of the beans. Okay? Make sense? Well, sure.
Number 10 on 191.
Sarah buys 8 pounds, 12 ounces of strawberries at $1.98 per pound. What is their true cost a pound of 10% of the berries? Okay. We did a question on as an example yesterday. In fact, it was example 4. So what you have to do, I'm not going to do this question for you because I want you to do it. What you have to do is in question 4, it told you that they cut off 6 ounces of fat. Right? Remember this question yesterday? Okay. Today, you've got to find out what 10% of the waste is. So take 10% off of the 8 pounds, 12 ounces.
So the true cost is up.
Okay, so you find out first how much it cost you for 8 pounds, 12 ounces. So find out what that is times $1.98. Once you do that, take 10% off of 8 pounds, 12 ounces and divide that back into that total. Can you follow what I'm saying there? Okay. So it's the same question. The only difference is you have to find out what 10% of 8 pounds, 12 ounces is. I would change it all to pounds and then find 10% of that. Okay. If you can't do it, I want you to bring it back up after. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
How would you get it to, since you have to get it to decimal?
Yeah, you'll have 12/16, right? Which is 3/4. Correct? So you have 8.75 pounds of strawberries. And then you take 10% off of that. Okay?
But once you get 10% off, then whatever's left is the true cost.
Is the true amount that you got, and then you divide that into
Your total.
okay? Everybody okay with that? All right. Anybody else had questions? Sarah's the only one? Or she asked the questions that everybody wanted? Okay. As close to the end as 4.4 as you